Hey FLOSSTUBE, it's Leigh from Creatively on Sunday the 3rd of March 2024 with FLOSSTUBE number 215. Welcome back to my weekly YouTube channel about counted cross stitch. I come to you from 12:27 on a Sunday. I've just been over and had coffee or tea with my lovely neighbours and thought I'd better get this video recorded. It was an odd week last week. I finished the video, warning, the next 2-3 minutes may be a little bit graphic with an injury, so if you get kind of squeamish, fast forward. So I left the video last week where I was going to do a bunch of exciting tasks like mowing lawns and vacuuming and all sorts of stuff like that, and I did carry on with my making a zucchini loaf. I had that in the oven. I had a couple of loaves of bread proving. I had plans to do a big sort of roasty dinner, which would involve lots of peeling and chopping. I was carrying on with my craft room reorganisation. I have great guns. And then I chopped a chunk out of my finger. I was holding a bunch of papers with a staple in it like this, and I got my great sharp Fiskars paper scissors and I went snip and I chopped the chunk of my knuckle skin off. Let's just say, when I realised what I'd done, I went into a bit of shock and did end up kind of fainting. I didn't quite lose consciousness, but it did involve me on the floor with my hand bleeding, with me feeling very weird. It took me a little while to recover from that. And I was on my own, I didn't know where my phone was. It was doing the video, it was uploading the video, and it was plugged in and nowhere near where I was. And I didn't really cope that well with losing all the blood in my extremities. And anyway, I managed to get it taped up. I managed to get some stereo strips on it. I did ring Dad. My dad's like, go to the hospital. I'm like, you don't go to the hospital with a minor injury. I thought you might need plastic surgery. And I'm like, God, Dad, do as I say, not as I do. But anyway, so I did call Healthline and they sort of said, yeah, your biggest risk is probably infection. Just keep an eye on it, but you probably don't need to go to emergency. I did see my GP the next day to get him to have a look at it. Well, not my GP, a GP. Because I wanted it redressed because it had bled through a little bit of the Band-Aid and I didn't want to faint again. So he redressed it, said it was essentially a superficial injury, didn't need any stitches, just the skin's just got to grow back. And so I did a great job of dressing it. I could have a job there. I said, well, I might need one yet. We'll see how that goes. But essentially, I got a tetanus shot, which was probably not necessary, but I hadn't had one for a long time. And it's still sore, but it's fine. It's just very tender on the top of the knuckle where there's just no skin down to the finger bit. So yeah, that just threw everything out. So I ordered a pizza, rang Dad back, told him, Healthline said I don't need to go to emergency, and it's fine, it'll be fine. Keep it dry and clean. So I didn't do anything. Didn't wash any dishes till Wednesday when I put a pair of marigolds on, and finally could start using it on Thursday, just in time to start my hashtag leap year sale ×2, because I didn't get any stitching done until Thursday night. Anyway, that was me with my drama. So it is getting better. It's still sore, but it's not. It was never really sore. It was definitely the shock of it. It's tender, and I can bend it. It's just the Band-Aid means it keeps it from. I can actually make a fist with it now, except I'd probably split the Band-Aid if I did that. I can't squeeze hard. I don't have. It hurts to do anything, so I just walk around pointing a lot. Anyway, don't do that. Don't chop your finger. So it's made me come over a bit queasy just talking about it. Okay. So that dominated the week with the finger being out of commission. I yeah, didn't have to obviously have any time off. Typing sucked a little bit. It's probably one of the most used fingers on the keyboard when you type properly, and so that was a bit sucky. And yeah, work, we as an organisation, we hear about them on the 6th, so we find out next week what's going on, or what the proposal is for our organisation. Fiscal savings plan. Thanks to people who've said good luck, thank you. I presume that carries us forward to this week. What else has been going on? So yeah, so that's here. Wednesday we get the proposal. Wednesday night we go live with our new intranet and knowledge portal on SharePoint Online. Thursday will be supporting the people, and then that night I fly to Christchurch. So I'm there Thursday night through Sunday, get back Sunday night. There will not be a FLOSSTUBE next week. I'm just, you know, I'm going to be having fun with friends, and it just won't happen. So I'll do a bit of a weekend catch up, double week follow up the week after. So yeah, just giving you a fair warning. I won't be here next week. I will be in Christchurch or winging my way back to Wellington, and pretty much getting home, probably going to bed, and then getting up and going to work the next morning. So there will be no time for filming. I am looking forward to being away though, even regardless of what the job situation turns out to be. Any other thing really? Dad's doing all right. I haven't actually talked to him yet. I meant to come back from my neighbours and ring him, and then I forgot. I thought, oh, let's get this video recorded, then I'll give him a call. I think my sister was going to call him yesterday, so we tend to try and tag team it so we don't all just try and call him the same day, really. He was a pre-op last week at Tauranga Hospital, and for the 3rd time, and they're like, yes, you definitely do need your shoulder reconstruction, and at this stage it is likely to go ahead at some stage. Now he just has to wait for an appointment, which they said, oh no, it'll be this year. Well, it's still February, so who knows when there will be. So we'll see what happens there. And I think with the pain he's been getting in his sacrum groin area is osteoarthritis, so not much they can do about that other than give him a extra big pill to swallow, which I don't know what the big pill is, but yeah, unfortunately his bones are rubbing on each other because he's got arthritis, and that kind of sucks, so it's not going to get better. Poor bugger. Anyway, that's probably the only other thing exciting for him is he's working on getting his bathroom redone. He currently has to get into a shower over a bath, and it's getting increasingly difficult for him to step into that, especially with this arthritis and stuff. So he is getting the bathroom redone to pull the bath out and put a big walk-in shower in so he can walk into it. It'll still have a seat for him, but he's excited about that. And also, the bathroom's pretty run down on the house he's in, so that'll be quite nice. I don't know. I think he started working with the builder, so I don't know when that's going to happen, but that's pretty exciting for him that he can look forward to having getting in and out of the shower with a bit more ease than he currently has. He said it'll be similar to mine. It's actually just a large walk-in shower, and he has no issues getting in and out of my shower when he's at my house. So that's pretty much it. Okay, that's life stuff, blah, blah, blah. Nothing new has arrived. Haven't had time anyway, but I haven't looked at anything. Did I? No, I haven't bought anything. I don't think I've got anything coming. No, I've been a good girl. Waiting to find out about my job. So yeah, I just did a little bit of stitching on Thursday, Friday, and yesterday. So Thursday night I got home and we started our hashtag leap year sale, and I have 2 projects. I started both of them on the Thursday night, and I got about 500 stitches in on each. Luckily for me, with the way I stitching in hand, the way I hold my fabric, this finger tends to stay kind of straightish behind to help create tension between this finger pulling on between this finger and thumb and my little finger in my stomach. I kind of create tension between here so that when I stitch, I've got a nice tension on the fabric. If you watch one of my older Stitch With Me videos, Needles on Fire, back a couple of years ago, it shows me stitching in hand. That's how basically this finger stays straight behind the fabric, so I don't curve it at all. So that was good, the fact that it was stuck straight anyway. Where there's a will, there's a way. So I started on my first project. This is Women in Profile from Cross Stitch Collectibles, starting down here in the left hand corner. And for me, I've done my plan over 4 years, so I can finish it within 4 years. This one I need to keep on track. I should aim to stitch 2,552 stitches a month, and I got about 500 done on the Thursday night. This one is on 20 count Aida Nougat with the DMC. I need to just write on here that I started it. Started it on the 29th Feb 2024. And then I carried on a little bit on Friday night, and some on Friday night, and some on quite a bit yesterday, and I've got 2,552 stitches in, so which is just over 2%, so 2.08% to get this one to that. It's gonna be, I don't even know if you can see the flowers in here. There are blue flowers in here in person. I mean, they're very tonal with the green, but they're very visible. I don't know if you can see them all that well. These ones will be a little bit more visible because I think this is a little bit lighter in here. There's more of a lighter colour, but dark green with blue flowers and that part of the lady's dress. Yeah, 2,500 stitches, and that is my March goal met. So, yay me. The other project, because one wasn't enough, and also that's not, for the way I stitch, that's not a lot of stitches per month. Crazy. Is artwork also inspired by the same artist, Victoria Zetchin. This is Procession of Princesses by Vivsters, and a very different style, very fun and bright. To keep this one on track to finish within 4 years, I need to stitch 1,700 stitches. This one is on 20 count Aida as well, but ivory, and also using DMC. I also haven't written down that I started this one. I'm very out of sorts this week. And I also need to write on there how many stitches. So I just popped on there, it's 81,600 stitches for that one, and yeah, I started it. So this one I got, so my target for March is 1,700 stitches, and I wanted to finish one of my little, I'm going to call it a little bubble. So I actually have 1,708 stitches to finish this little bubble here. I finished that, so I got extra 8 stitches in, and this is now at 2.09%, so again right on target. I am just sort of picking a colour and stitching it up until it stops, and then I come back and stitch the next colour. I've got to pull a few more colours into my kit because I only kitted up the things that I had full skeins for, and there are a few colours in here that don't have that many stitches. So I'm just working in this little bit down here. So that is where we're at for that one. It's kind of quite fun. There's such different projects, like, you know, one has big blocks of colour, hard outlines in black, and the other one is full-on confetti, more moody and dark. So I'm enjoying both of those so far. I'm on track. They'll go away. I've got reprinted this is only for the first 2 years. I'll print a similar one when I get to year 3, so we're a little way to worry about. So it's got both projects up there, what my target is, what the total stitch count is, what the yearly target is, what a monthly average target is, and then what the stitch, because both of them are on Pattern Keeper, I can just track what stitch number I'm at by the end of the month. So we're achieved March for now, so on track, and it's only the 3rd of March. So yeah, for me, a very doable project. I'm very excited. I mean, the self-control that I have to put in place right now to not carry on with both of those, I'm not gonna have a monthly goal. Got 20 other things I need to stitch on, so it will be fine. On the 1st, which was Friday, I realised it was the 1st and also Friday, because I just tend to stay up a little bit later and stitch on a Friday night. I hadn't stitched on my first of the month project for a few months. Heather M Jardine, what year? 1933. This is a Hands Across the Sea. One of the PDF charts are available. Originally it was a gift with purchase if you bought a kit from Traditional Stitches, and then it was being released last year on demand from a whole bunch of Kiwi gals. This stitched has a Kiwi New Zealand history to it, and a whole bunch of us started this last year on the 1st of June, and it's a New Zealand sampler reproduction. I'm stitching mine on 36 count Riverstone linen from Country Stitch, using a kind of my own conversion. I would say a partial DMC conversion. I pulled the called for, changed the blues, or added 2 teals, took out one of the blues, changed the red, added in a 3865, added in, changed the brown. So yeah, I've changed it quite a bit. Also, one of the variations when this was stitched as a model had this piece here replaced with a motto in both English and Te Reo Māori, and so I've stitched that version, and I am taking on strong support from the designer. I am changing it a lot. So some of the things are staying the same, some of them are changing colours, some of them are moved around. I'm stitching this for my niece. I'll frame it for her one day. So I'm put her initials in, I've put her year of birth in, and because she has Finnish ancestry, she's a New Zealander but lives in Australia, I'm replacing some of the things with different motifs that I'm kind of either finding or just sketching myself really quickly. So I've swapped the teddy bear for a koala. I've swapped this flower. I put a lily of the valley, which is a Finnish national flower. I've just stitched, this is new, I've replaced this with a couple of Korwhai, which is a New Zealand flower. I changed the colours of that bird a little bit. I haven't stitched this bird, but I will also stitch it differently. And I'll put a couple of extra things in. So yeah, I'll show, and I don't know what I'm doing up here yet. I might put an Australian flower up there, like a Waratah maybe, or Wattle's yellow. I don't know. I'll probably put something different up here. I left that one in. I don't know. I'm still butchering it around a little bit. So I hadn't picked it up for a while. So I gave it a little bit of love on the 1st. I put in these stylized Korwhai flowers. I just sort of had a look online, found a simple Korwhai flower, and then I kind of hand sketched it onto grid, and then I squared it up, and then I just put a couple of lines of back stitching in the same color as the stem, just to kind of give it some definition of where the Korwhai flowers are. Picked one of the tealy greens just for sort of Korwhai flowers, Korwhai leaves. The Korwhai leaves are kind of little pairs of tiny little leaves. Like, I don't know how to describe them. I'm not a botanist. So that's new. So yeah, since you last saw it, which was a few months ago, I put these 2 little baskets in and that little bouquet in, and I added the 2 Corfai, which again I just sort of quickly sketched up and threw in. That's instead of the sort of bluebell. And I also fixed the year, because when I showed this last time, that's meant to be my niece's year of birth, but I had put 2021 instead of 2001. So I fixed the 0 to make that correct. Yeah, so only a couple little additions, but I guess all I've got to do, I've got to do that bird, so 1, 2 parrots and a peacock, 2 butterflies, these 2 little border thingies, and that up there. So I'm very close to being done. So now that because I've changed that, and that, I haven't been able to count to here. So now that I've got that and I can get to now that I've got that one and I can get to this bird and across to that bird, and then I can get that done, then I can get these in. Because all of these, they take up similar space the way I've stitched them, but not the same space. So I kind of needed to get that in. I can, now that I've got that in, I can get this in, then come across and get that in. So I will do that hopefully the next month. I can find some time in March and maybe April get it finished. I think there's only a couple more. Like if I wanted to, I could probably finish it, but I want to only stitch it on the 1st of the month. Did I show you? Yes, I should show you properly. I think I just waved it around. So yeah, I've got the Lily of the Valley in there for her and Corfai. My space set ended up a bit weird here because this takes up it's a different shape. Stitching takes up different space, so I might put a little doofer in here just because maybe that should probably have been to the left a little bit. Yeah, and my niece's initial. So it's been kind of fun because I haven't charted anything. I've just sort of freestyled most of the design. Like I kind of really roughly sketched out like the space, like worked out, the teddy bear took up, I'm making up figures now, but say 15 by 23. So when I looked for a koala, then I just adapted a really simple koala just to sort of fit within the same space so that it would just basic saying this motif has to fit in this space to not encroach on anything else. That's sort of it. It's my stitching. So yeah, I really want to get this finished. If I had stitched on it every 1st of the month like I planned, it would be finished, but I kept forgetting and I only stitched it on the 1st. So that's the hashtag Heather M Jardine Sal. And it's kind of been fun just tutoring with that design to come up with something fun and a little bit more meaningful for my niece. That's pretty much it, I think. So yeah, next week off to Christchurch. Yay. Thanks for coming along. Don't forget, not here next week. I'll put a community post up at the weekend just to remind people not to worry about me. I'm fine. And I look forward to comments, and I look forward to being back with a regularly scheduled program on the 17th of March. Holy heck, that's like mid-March. Take care, and as always, don't let your needles rust. Ciao.